Are you ready for the best damn sports radio show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that then. While I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who's coming to the stage. Sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, then listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Stripes like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're After Dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut you short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live all through your speakers, go.
And what is up, everybody? Michael Buckeister here with the Man Hour. Head over to manhourradio.com. Pick yourself up some merchandise. Check out the blog section. And, of course, become a member over there as we do have the After Hours show. We just, more live, more rawness, just grit sports talk. Speaking of grit, we have the man, the legend, the myth, all those words rolled into one. Brandon BC Combs. What's up, Combs?
What is going on, Man Hour Nation? Big X Radio, 313 Radio. What is going on, man? Look, it is about to get freaking hyped up in here, man. I'm having a hell of a day. I'm having a hell of a weekend. And, you know, there's going to be a whole lot of yelling tonight. I'm going to tell you that, too, because we're going to get into some stuff that I got to get off my chest. So let's get it. Let's bring in the hair. Bring in the hair. But tonight, guys, we do have a mock draft 2.0. We got about 30 minutes of mock draft talk right after the first break. And our mock draft expert himself, Wyatt the Williams. There you go.
There you go.
To mix it up because how they list it, you put your last name, middle, last name first, and then so it's you
kind of how you said like Combs was the myth, man, legend thing, right? Yeah. Right. You got to mix it up, throw it all together.
Exactly.
I like it.
It's kind of like a spaghetti. Like it's all better mixed together, not like separated.
You're not cookie cutter. That's all that matters, right? You know, nobody's ever going to notice if you're not unique. You know.
Wyatt, I got a question for you, man.
What's up?
How much money a month do you spend on product for your hair?
Oh man, too much money. How about that?
Let's be honest. He doesn't spend it. His mama does.
That's true.
Honest to God, you're never going to believe me when I tell you this. You ready? What? Genuinely, I do not spend a dime on my hair. My mother does. Nobody spends a dime on my hair. I wake up every morning and run a comb through, and it looks like this. Sometimes I wake up and it looks like this. I swear on anything. I swear.
Your maids comb it for you while you sleep, don't they?
They groom me while I sleep.
That is ridiculous. So, speaking of spaghetti, guys, I had spaghetti for supper tonight. Let me ask you guys this: do you guys mix the sauce with the noodles and then put it on the plate, or is the sauce and noodles separate?
What kind of communistic ritual is pouring all of the sauce into the spaghetti? What the heck? Man, so there are Italians that are going to be mad all over the place at you right now, man.
So you are a separator, right?
No, you pour the sauce on top of the noodles. Like you've got to, but you can't just have plain sauce now, Buck, either, man. I'm not talking about pouring ragu into a pan. I make my own sauce. I put my sauce when I have spaghetti. I make it in a crock pot. I've got burger. I've got sausage.
Spaghetti.
I've got I've got mushrooms, onions, peppers. Boy, I can cook now.
Yeah, we can tell. Wyatt, are you guys a sauce mixer before you put it on the plate? Do you put it all in the pan?
You take the noodles. All right, you boil the noodles, right? Then you strain them, you put them back in there. Then you scoop the noodles out, put them on your plate. Then you put the sauce on top of the noodles. Always.
Yes.
Okay. So
then you put your Parmesan on there, mozzarella. That's when you do that.
Oh boy.
Okay. So apparently I committed a cardinal sin tonight, 100%. Cindy was sick. Like you guys know how I was sick last week, just my throat was just killing me, right?
Yeah.
And so Cindy has that now. So me being the great husband that I am, I'm like, hey, I will make supper tonight and I'll make some spaghetti. And I mix it all together. Just
oh man, Buck, come
did the hamburger
on. Oh, God.
and you would have thought hell would have frozen over. She's like, I don't cook, but damn, you do not do this ever. I'm like, it's literally saving you steps in your process.
That is
just
no,
stupid,
that's
right?
a no, Buck. You do not mix it all together. What is wrong with you? What if I want more sauce? What if I want less sauce?
Then you just got to get more noodles. I mean, the noodles and sauce come one on one. I mean, that's just the way it is.
But you can't get more noodles if all the sauce is already mixed in, Buck.
Yeah, you can. Why can't
No,
you?
how can you get less sauce if all the sauce is already mixed in?
Because
How
I
can I
put
get less of
2
something that's already
jars
there?
of ragu in there, so it's double sauce anyways.
Why
plus
are
the
you?
hamburger.
No, see, look.
First off, you're
Why
using
are you
ragu.
even
That's
using
the first
ragu?
problem. That's the first problem. And you're
What?
mixing it. Ragu and mixing
Oh
it,
my
dude.
God.
You are never allowed to make spaghetti again in your entire life.
What kind of sauce do you guys use?
I will send you a recipe, Buck. I will
No,
send you a recipe.
because-
you use diced tomatoes, crushed tomatoes, you use pepper, you use garlic, you use God, man, you do not ragu. Jeez, crow. No wonder your family's always sick. You're feeding them that junk.
Let's be honest. I did that because I did not want to wash 3 freaking pans. Let's just be flat honest. I said it. I didn't want to wash dishes tonight, so I'm like, you know what? Oh, man.
So wrong.
Oh my God.
Is it like?
You know,
but
it's
like,
funny because I'm the cook of the family. Michelle does not cook. Michelle's the baker. So I'm the cooker. Michelle's the baker. I do not like. She does, and she'll get. It's funny because anytime I make something, she'll sit there and she'll eat it. And she's like, "Well, I would have done this or I would have done that," and I'm always like, "Well, then next time you make it."
tread lightly because I do see Michelle there in the chat. What's up, Michelle? How you doing
She knows
today?
it's true. She knows it's true. But she I'm the guy who does all the cooking. I love to cook.
Yeah.
She is the one where so how do you eat your steak, Buck?
With my mouth.
Like, how do you have it cooked? How do you have it cooked?
Medium rare.
Medium rare, perfect.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
God.
there are 3 ways to cook a steak. You have rare, medium rare, and ruined. Okay, Michelle is the one when I'm cooking everybody else's steaks. I have to start hers first, and I can't take hers off until everybody else's is done because hers has to be more than well done.
Okay, well that not
so-
more than well done. Medium to medium well is right where I like it.
No, no.
Why do you guys
see,
like it rare? You like your meat still moving? I mean, it's like do you guys
Wyatt,
just
once you
chop it off
start
the
eating
leg?
it medium rare, you will start growing hair in other places other than the top of your head, buddy.
Yeah,
Of course.
exactly. Me, like we do have a beard challenge happening, and Wyatt's been letting his beard grow for 2 months. And if you guys watch it on youtube.com/manhour, you will see that Wyatt has no facial hair at all.
He's been going since No Shave November, and that's all he has.
So, guys, we do have some exciting news to announce here on the Man Hour. If you guys are not following us on the Facebook page, you should be. But, Combs, I'm going to give you the chance to expel the news to everybody. What is happening March 1st for the Man Hour?
Well, I mean, look, we've had people in the chat ask us to go longer, go more days, go more hours, and so, the radio execs were listening, and we are going to be going 5 days a week on Big X, Monday through Friday from 3 to 5 p.m. Does not mean you guys will be losing us here because we will still be here Sunday through Thursday now, not Monday through Thursday. Sundays are going to be a little bit later because of family obligations, so that we will be on about an hour-ish later than normal, but guys, this is big things. It's good news. We've got a lot of good things happening here. We've got a huge interview coming up tomorrow even. We appreciate everything you guys have done for us. Drew here, who says, howdy, boys. He was one of the big ones who kept saying, hey, you guys need to go to 5 days a week. Him and Tori Anderson both. Tori's always saying, man, you guys are done already. Go another hour, this and that. We appreciate the love. We appreciate the support. We appreciate everything you guys have done. And the people over at Big X are listening. Dugan is listening. He wants us there 5 days a week. We are coming. We are coming 5 days a week, and it is going to be insane.
Yeah, and speaking of Drew, me and Drew spoke on the phone. I believe it was Saturday, Drew. Correct me if I'm wrong, but me and Drew spoke for probably about half hour, 45 minutes or so. And when we broke this news on our Facebook page, like Drew says, he is the only podcast sports show that he listens to. And I'm like, really? Like, and I wanted to know why, what drew him in, and it's because of our rawness, and we legitimately hate each other 9 times out of 10, but they were still friends. Like at the end of the day, right?
It's a beautiful love-hate relationship.
But see, that's sports, guys. I mean, that's the beauty of sports. That's the beauty of sports talk. When you hang out with your friends and you watch sports, especially if you are fans of a different team, you're talking crap to each other. You're egging each other on, and at the end of the day, you guys are still friends. You're still buying each other around at the bar. Or if you're at the bar and there's a fan of another team there, you're heckling them, you're giving them crap. And then after the game's over, you guys are all having a good old time. That's what sports is about. And look, we're passionate. I get passionate. I start yelling, especially when these idiots start talking about, Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz,
but,
quarterback. I'll take quarterback.
My man.
Yeah, can't even get his number from his wide receiver, but he's a top 10 quarterback.
We will be talking about that later here, like in the show. But guys, we cannot thank you enough for all the support that we have. Tori, I do see you already doing points thing over there on the YouTube page.
Oh man!
During the break, I am going to reset the loyalty points, so just ground zero for everybody here after our first break. But coming up after the first break, we do have Wyatt Williams mock draft 2.0. So we are not going to do the full first round draft pick. We are going to do some highlights and like whatnot of the first round moving forward. So Wyatt, before we take our first break, do you want to prep anybody, give them a big tease moving forward that Trevor Lawrence is not going to go number 1?
No, I'm not teasing that, but I will say our picks 2, 3, 4, most of our top 5 changed. That's what I'll say. So what we're going to do is we're basically just going to run through the 32 picks real quick. I got some nice stopping points where we're going to stop and really talk about certain picks, certain things that are going on with the league. The biggest thing I wanted to say, though, normally when I do my mock drafts, I go off of if nobody traded, if everybody stayed the same. This time, I expanded out a little more. I'm going to talk about some of the teams that are considering shopping certain people. I'm going to consider, places they could possibly go. So, excited to do this.
There we go. Beautiful. I'm a joker.
Jesus.
I'm a stroker. I'm a game time joker.
Drew wanted us to make sure that we showed you that, and I know you've seen it.
I saw
but
it.
I just wanted to make sure that you saw it,
yes,
and that everybody else who's watching the show saw it.
No, everybody saw it.
And all those that are listening on 313, or if you hear this on Big X, it's just a big picture of Aaron Rodgers in a little Irish, I guess, outfit.
What would you even call that? Is that like a short suit?
Yeah, he's wearing like short shorts, like only Aaron Rodgers can. He's wearing a suit jacket and a Green Bay Packers tie, and it says, "I'm a joker, I'm a stroker, I'm a game time choker."
To be honest, though, those shoes are balling. I would definitely wear those shoes. Those are pretty
if
good.
you want to see it, just go to facebook.com/Green Bay Packers suck.
All right, guys, we are going to take our first little break. On the other side of the break, we do have the mock draft 2.0 coming up, and we have Way or No Way coming up, and a brand new segment we're going to introduce tonight on the second hour. Would you rather? All right, guys, we'll be right back here on the Man Hour. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeyes along with Brandon Combs and Wyatt Williams. Head over to manhourradio.com. Become a member over there as little as $3 a month. You get discounts on merchandise. You get all exclusive, all access to us, after hours party, of course. And, of course, you get all the blog as well. So welcome back, guys. It is time for that mock draft 2.0. First things first, guys. How'd you guys like that little funky music?
That was
awesome.
It was interesting. I mean, I couldn't tell whether it was classic, whether it was classic rock, whether it was rock. Like it was.
It was the classic Buck Fingers, baby. Woo! Yeah. You guys don't know, but I'm a jacks of all trades, master of none. No, actually, my dad helped me make that beat back during Thanksgiving, like last year. So when I went back home for Thanksgiving, my dad's a killer guitar player, and I'm a killer on the keyboard. So it's a good time. So, Wyatt, are you ready for your mock draft 2.0?
I was born ready.
Oh, boy.
I'm beyond ready.
Let's do it, man.
The first overall pick in the Wyatt Williams mock 2.0, it is going to be number 1 overall. It's going to be Trevor Lawrence, quarterback of Clemson. We all knew this was coming, okay? He is a crazy football IQ guy. We all saw how great that his pro day was. We all saw him dropping dimes on it. Of course, he had, receivers he hadn't thrown to. They weren't catching the ball. That wasn't his fault. You can only put the ball on somebody's chest so many times and them not catch it. Anyways, still, nonetheless, Trevor Lawrence with that number 1 overall pick. This isn't really one to debate here.
There is room to debate.
It's very well.
100%.
It's very well expected he's going to go first.
He's going to go first, but look, I've been well stated that I just think he's going to be a bust, and I still believe that. I still don't think he's going to be the quarterback that everybody thinks he's going to be in the NFL. But I agree. He's going to be the number 1 pick.
The only way he's not the number 1 pick is if the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Jets both trade out of their top couple picks.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
So 2 changed a little bit, though, Wyatt?
Yes. So as we get ready here with the second overall pick in the Wyatt Williams mock 2.0, it is going to be the New York Jets selecting quarterback Zach Wilson out of BYU. Okay, explanation here. I did not want to do this. I think I know the Jets need to keep Sam Darnold. I have said this for so long. I have said this for, months on months now, and everybody else has. They've got their quarterback. They have got plenty of picks to move around, pick up protection, pick up some weapons at all positions. Even if it is at the running back position, the wide receiver position, and get a left tackle, they have got the draft capital to do so. But they have been talking way too much about trading Sam Darnold. So therefore, I don't see them keeping that second overall pick. I don't see them keeping or not picking a quarterback at the second overall pick. And who else on the board at the time than the second best quarterback could be the first best quarterback in this draft in Zach Wilson. Okay, he's got tremendous pocket presence. Like the guy's eyes downfield are ridiculous. He knows exactly when to step up into the pocket. And I think that the Jets are going to take him at this moment with that second overall pick, boys.
So you think Zach Wilson jumps all the way up to number 2 because the Jets are going to trade Sam Darnold. Now, you don't think they're getting a quarterback in return in any trade for Sam Darnold? You don't think that they're trading for Watson here, or?
I mean, they could. But I just, honestly, I think Sam Darnold is going to Chicago. That's really where I think right now. And I think they get some picks out of it. And I think that they get maybe a edge rusher, no matter if that is Khalil Mack, whoever that ends up being. They're going to get somebody out of it. I don't think it's going to be Watson. I think Watson ends up in Miami. That's the only real move that makes sense in my head. And with that, the Jets don't really have a good backup quarterback. I believe it's like Josh McCown or something right now. I'm not exactly sure it is, so don't quote me on that. But you got a kid like Zach Wilson sitting on the board still. So I had him at the 4th pick. He jumps to the 2nd now.
Yeah, I hope you're right. I hope Darnold is going to Chicago. If he does go to Chicago, if he does come to Chicago, that means that Nick Foles is going to New York. Obviously, he's not the guy. He's not the quarterback of the future. But wouldn't you still draft Penei Sewell in this spot to protect him for this season and draft your backup quarterback, your future quarterback later in the first round with probably the 20th pick, which is what you'll get from the Bears for Sam Darnold?
So, I mean, I could see that, but the thing is, Zach Wilson's such a good talent. I really do genuinely believe that Zach Wilson has the potential to be the best quarterback in this draft. And honestly, I think it's all because of location. I think if he gets into New York and they build around him and they get some weapons around him, I think he's got a really good shot of being. Well, that's the thing as well. You know, that's what we said with Darnold. Will they build around him? You know, and so they didn't do a good job with that. So I mean, they could go with Penei Sewell here, but at the same time, it's just, you know, if they did that, then and they got rid of Darnold, that means that they would be banking all their money on Nick Foles.
Right.
And you know, when you've got a guy like Zach Wilson on the board, I really do think he's going to be a once-in-a-generation kind of guy. You don't get that opportunity very often. He's got the potential to be that. So if you pass on him, you may never get this opportunity again.
So a couple things come to mind right at the top here. Why I don't think that the Bears are going to let Nick Foles go, because you always need that solid backup quarterback. And Nick Foles is proven to be a good, solid backup quarterback. He can jump in there for 2-3 games and like hold down the fort, right? So I don't think the Bears are going to give up.
Because of the money that he's due in salary cap wise, if they do bring in a quarterback, they are going to have to trade Nick Foles because of the salary cap.
Okay, so I don't I'm no salary guy whatsoever, but like hindsight, like in my head, like you would keep Nick Foles, you know, as a solid backup quarterback moving forward. However, let's look at what the Indianapolis Colts did a couple years ago. They drafted, you know, a once in a lifetime quarterback in Andrew Luck, but they had no offensive line to protect him.
Right.
Where is Andrew Luck now?
Retired.
He is retired because he got beat the F up over and over and over. So the Jets offensive line, they drafted that kid from Louisville this last draft. Yeah. So if you draft a quarterback now, you are putting him in the same situation that Andrew Luck was in 8 years ago. Great quarterback, no offensive line. You got pounded and pounded and pounded again. The Jets have to go offensive line. Their offensive line is trash.
Yeah, I would agree. Who do you have three through 5 here? Who do you got 3, 4, 5?
So 3, 4, 5 here. I have pick 3. I've got this was the biggest jump of the draft for me. That's going to be Jamar Chase. I had him at 11 to the Giants last time, but you know, with the hype from Devonta Smith from the national championship kind of cooling down, we're really starting to see the wide receivers fluctuate again and move around. So, so Jamar Chase at the 3rd overall pick. With the 4th overall pick, I had Zach Wilson here. I still think Atlanta goes quarterback, but with that being said, I think they will take Justin Fields at this one here, because you know, at the moment, you know, he would be that would be the best available quarterback on the board that you've got the most film on as well. Plus, Atlanta has shown some interest in Justin Fields as well. So if Zach Wilson's off the board, I can almost assure you that Fields goes to Atlanta. So that is going to be that one, as well as the 5th pick. It is going to be Penei Sewell, the left tackle out of Oregon. Crazy athlete. The guy is incredibly strong, can move up the field very well. Best
lineman in the draft.
Absolutely. And then and then when you tack that onto the fact that Joe Burrow's offensive line was no better than, you know, throwing a, you know, I don't even know what you would consider that out there. It was terrible. He had no protection all year. He had, you know, it's why he got injured. So, you know, he's their franchise quarterback going forward. We saw what he could do. So they need to add something there to protect him. And what better than Penei Sewell, you know?
So, Wyatt, when you did this mock draft, were you by any chance in your parents' liquor cabinet?
No.
Okay, because I just have a couple of questions here at picks 3, 4, and 5. All right,
Let's
so first, with the Dolphins going wide receiver. So the Dolphins are either, we can probably agree, the Dolphins are either going to have Tua Tagovailoa at quarterback, or they're going to have Deshaun Watson at quarterback, correct?
Yes, and if they have Tua, I think they go wide receiver.
With the weapons you have already at wide receiver, why would you not go Penei Sewell as the Dolphins to protect one of those two assets? I think that going wide receiver at 3 when Penei Sewell is still on the board, if the Jets do in fact pick a quarterback at 2, like, I think that is a gross mistake if you're the Dolphins to not take Penei Sewell at 3 if he's still available to protect one of those 2 quarterbacks. At 4, I just can't see him jumping all the way to 4. I know that the Falcons need a quarterback. I know that, all the talk about him, but I just can't see Justin Fields jumping all the way to 4. And then at 5, with Sewell going at 5, I think Sewell's already off the board because I really do think that if you're the Dolphins, you have to take him there. So yeah, I just couple questions there. I mean, a little bit of sake with your Chinese food.
Yeah, so to answer your question there, the Dolphins, in my opinion, need a wide receiver more than they need offensive line help. Last year, we really saw it because of the injuries. Even with Devontae Parker couldn't stay on the field full time and stay healthy. So with that being said, Albert Wilson is not too great of a wide receiver 2 option. If you add Jamar Chase, okay, Jamar Chase, honestly, I've said this for a very long time, is the best wide receiver in this class. The guy can literally do anything. He can fit in any scheme. He is a go-get-it guy who has incredible speed, incredible route running. He is literally like a Calvin Johnson number 2. That's exactly the best way I could explain it. A big body that is freakishly athletic that can go up and get the ball whenever you need him to. So I think to pass on what could be your future receiver option when you could solve some tackle stuff in the free agency, I think that's where they solve that tackle issue for the Dolphins or not even that, just the offensive line issues as a whole. I think they go through that with the free agency. So that's what that. But second, with the 4th pick, Justin Fields, like I said, excuse me, Atlanta has already shown some interest in him. That's why I really like that pick. With them going with him, when I pick these, it doesn't necessarily mean that I think they're the player that should go there. It's just what I think that these groups will go with. And then whenever the Bengals get on the board, at that point, they would be completely stupid to not take Penei Sewell. If you get there at that 5th pick and he is there, you've got to snag him.
That's why I think it's stupid for the Dolphins to pass on him. I get what you're saying about Jamar Chase. I get what you're saying about that need at wide receiver. But they've got another pick here in the 1st round where they can still snag a wide receiver. And you've been proving that you can get wide receivers late in the draft as well. So that's why I don't know, just difference of opinion. That's all, and right, no wrong. I just think you were a little drunk while you were making your picks. That's all.
Well, just a few things here though, Combs. Like this is not a wide receiver heavy class like it was like this past year. Like this past year, you could have went down to 5th and 6th round and still got a number 1 receiver. Like there were so many wide receivers in last year's class that it was just
Michael Pittman's one of those examples. He was almost a 3rd round pick.
Yeah, it was absolutely crazy.
Bears
this year. This year, there is not as many receivers in the class. So, and just to add to Wyatt's point there, once Zach Wilson goes off the board, you will start to see teams panicking toward the late 1st round pick. The teams that want a quarterback, the Patriots, who else really wants a quarterback? They are going to start
New Orleans.
Yeah, like the Saints. Like they are going to start to jump up just because we see it every year. One quarterback goes that that like they thought there was going to be the 4th quarterback like off the board, and he goes 2. Teams are going to start to like panic, and there's going to be a lot of jumping up, trying to move up, trying to get their guy. So.
Well, first thing is, I don't think that the Patriots are going quarterback. Patriots tend to trade out of the 1st round, but since they are picking so high this year, I think maybe they will stand pat. But I think that they go elsewhere other than quarterback. I think they have their quarterback before the draft via trade, whether it be – I hear all the rumbling right now is that the Patriots are in making calls on every available quarterback in the league right now, including Jimmy G. And there's a lot of quarterbacks that make sense.
Getting Jimmy G back, that would be crazy.
Yeah, so I think the Patriots get their guy there. I don't think that they trade up. The Bears, again, another team. I think that they're going to get their quarterback before the draft as well. I think that they trade up. I think, I really think that Wyatt's right. I think that's where Sam Darnold lands. But I don't know. Quarterbacks there, and a quarterback a lot of people are sleeping on is Kyle Trask. I love Kyle Trask. And so there's going to be people that are there. I mean, you still got Trey Lance, you still got Kyle Trask.
I'm glad you mentioned Kyle Trask. At the end of the draft, bring him back up. I got a really good point about that.
All right,
I know you're a big Kyle Trask believer, and I am as well, but we'll bring that back up later because that is a really good topic that we talked about a little bit last time during the mock, but I got some cool stuff on that, actually.
All right, so who do you have going 6 through 10?
So 6 through 10, we have here is where I believe we have our last little spurt of wide receivers throughout the first round. We may have one or two go here or there for the rest of it, but with the 6th and 7th pick, there is going to be wide receivers taken, and it's going to be the Alabama boys. With the 6th overall pick, the Eagles are going to select Devonta Smith. We've seen how bad they need weapons. It's literally horrible there. They need everything. So if they go with Devonta Smith here, or if they maybe even go with Micah Parsons, linebacker Penn State, either one wouldn't be bad, but I'm choosing Devonta Smith simply because they need a wide receiver more than they need a linebacker at the moment. With the 7th pick, so here's the deal. They just got a quarterback. That's going to be the Detroit Lions. Last time I had them taking Fields, then they get a quarterback. Now they're not getting a quarterback, I don't think. I think they go Jalen Waddle here from Alabama to give him a weapon because Galladay and Marvin Jones possibly hitting the road, most likely hitting the road. So you're going to need some wide receiver weapons out there to go along with TJ Hawkinson.
Yep.
So with the 8th overall pick, though, this is where it gets interesting. It's going to be Trey Lance, quarterback, North Dakota State. Combs, you're a huge believer in Trey Lance, and I don't necessarily disagree with you either. I think he's a great pick there, and we've all seen all the rumors about them moving on from Teddy. We've all seen them, the Carolina Panthers don't want Teddy. The Carolina Panthers don't want Teddy. They're going to get rid of him. That's what everybody keeps saying. So you're going to need a quarterback if you get rid of him, and that is where I think they get him next with the 9th overall pick. This one was kind of a toss-up. It was a little tough because here Caleb Farley is still on the board, but I am going to go with Patrick Surtain, cornerback out of Alabama.
Wow.
He's a freakishly great guy. He is a Isaiah Simmons last year. That's the best comparison I can make. The guy could play anywhere in your secondary. He can even come up, play a little bit of rover at linebacker, something like that. So he can do a lot for your team. He is a really good player. And with the 10th overall pick, I'm going to pick Rashawn Slaughter, offensive tackle out of Northwestern, simply because that offensive line in Dallas, we saw it. It's been great for so long, but those great players are getting old. Zach Martin's getting up into his 30s. Terrence Williams is getting up into his 30s. So, at some point it's got to start moving on. So this is the replacement for some of those guys. And Slaughter is a great tackle and is going to be really good in the league, I think.
Yeah, I don't disagree with a whole lot of that. I love the Jalen Waddle pick. Trey Lance to Carolina is somewhat surprising because he's not going to be a guy, and I'm high on Trey Lance. Don't get me wrong. I think Trey Lance is going to be a very good quarterback. I think he needs a year or two to sit under somebody before he's NFL ready, though. I really do. He's not ready to start right off in the NFL. So that one's if they've still hang on to Teddy, or if they at least make a trade and have somebody to sit there ahead of him that he can learn under for a year or two, that would be most ideal. And then the only other one there, Patrick Surtain ahead of Caleb Farley. I can see it. I really can. I believe his father played for the Broncos too, so that really makes a lot of sense for Surtain to go to Denver. But it's hard when you've got the talent that Caleb Farley does, because Caleb Farley is really a shutdown corner.
He is. He's great.
And so to pass up on him, I could see it. I'm not sure if I would do that. That's all.
So let me ask you this question, Wyatt. Besides quarterback, what are the Panthers' biggest needs?
Besides quarterback, I would say some offensive line, definitely some linebacker. That's another guy. I talked about Micah Parsons earlier to Philadelphia. I don't think Micah Parsons to Carolina is a bad move for him either. Micah Parsons really has the potential to be the best player in this draft. It depends on where he lands, how he fits in whatever system he falls to. He's a really good linebacker, and we've seen a trend in shorter, fast, athletic linebackers here in the last couple of years, and he falls right into that category. So I would say linebacker, maybe a little bit of offensive line, and Maybe some secondary as well.
Just because the reason that I asked that, because I think the Carolina Panthers, they want to move on from Teddy because they want to bring in a veteran quarterback to work with this offense with like CMC in his prime and stuff like that. So like if they don't get a quarterback in free agency, I think they're going to go to the linebacking side to replace Luke Kuechly.
And Michael Parsons would be perfect in Carolina as well.
So yeah, I mean that's the only kind of like why kind of head scratcher pick
right.
there, but it wouldn't surprise me if they even trade out of that pick because somebody wants Trey Lance is going to move up. Yeah, Saints, Chicago, somebody, right?
Yeah, so. and I like Rashawn Slater at number 10. He a very good offensive lineman out of Northwestern. I watched a lot of that kid this past year. Very good offensive lineman. All right, so what do we got? 11 through 15. What do we got here?
So 11 through 15. This is going to come as a surprise that this guy fell this low. That's going to be tight end Kyle Pitts out of Florida, who could be, is the best tight end in this class, the best tight end in this draft, and most likely will be the only tight end taken in the first round, most likely. And to pair him up with Evan Ingram, that would be cool for a year. But Evan Ingram's only got 1 year left on contract. Most likely they're going to ship him out after that's all over with. He's missed a ton of games because of injury, and Kyle Pitts is a great fill in there. He's, like I said, the best tight end in this draft. Next, number 12, we talked about him a minute ago. That is going to be Caleb Farley, lockdown cornerback to the San Francisco 49ers to go along with Richard Sherman. Can you imagine a secondary that had Richard Sherman on one side, and then you try to throw the other side, and Caleb Farley is there to pick you off? Like either way, that's going to be a deadly secondary. Next, number 13, I'm going to go with the Chargers here. They're going to have Elijah Vera Tucker and the guard/center. He plays the interior offensive line position, and they needed some protection this year. They've got the weapons out there at wide receiver, Mike Williams, at Keenan Allen. Hunter Henry's not bad at tight end. They got a good running back in Eckler, good quarterback as well in Herbert. So really, all they need to do is get up that interior offensive line, set him next to Pouncey, and let him work. So that is the 13th overall pick. With the 14th overall pick, every year we see a big star caliber player fall, and I always like to keep that trend in my mock drafts. And this year,
and the Vikings always end up with them. I don't know how, but the Vikings always end up with them.
Yeah, but next with the 14th pick, it's going to be the Vikings. That's going to be Micah Parsons. We talked about him a lot in this, and they've already got a great linebacker core. But still, when you get to this point in the draft, and a guy like Micah Parsons is still on the board, you got to take him, especially right there. So I think they definitely take him there. And at the 15th overall pick, this is the big one here. That is going to be the New England Patriots. If they don't trade out of this position, every quarterback they want is already gone. And every quarterback that they would possibly get is too valuable for this right now. So I think right here they go J.C. Horn, cornerback. Because of Stephon Gilmore, most likely will be traded this year. He's only got a year left on contract. They've already talked about him getting traded last year. It was a big thing. So you got to replace one of the top cornerbacks in the league. But most likely at this, I would not be surprised if we saw a trade here. But I like to look at other mock drafts and really study them as well. And everybody that I've looked at, from NFL Network to ESPN, all of them, nobody has the Patriots taking quarterback here. So that's why I think they're going to follow that suit. I think that they go with a defender here or they trade out of it.
Trust your
gut. For those of you that don't know who Kyle Pitts is that tight end out of Florida that we haven't seen since, the murderer that came from there, and Aaron Hernandez, because this kid, I'm telling you, this kid could be a wide receiver in the league. He could absolutely be a wide receiver in the NFL, but he's big. He can play tight end. His pass rushing, his run blocking leaves a little bit, to be desired. But that's why I think if he falls and the Patriots are still there, they don't trade out of their pick, and because I'm telling you right now, if there's any coach in the league that is licking their chops at a chance to get Kyle Pitts, it is Bill Belichick. they love the tight end that can catch, that runs in, can run routes and do all the things that they do. He's perfect for the New England Patriots system. The rest of those picks, 11 through 15, I don't have any problem with them. I'd like to.
Though.
Yeah. I mean, I the only other one I could say is maybe Minnesota. Maybe instead of linebacker, maybe they do pick a quarterback to succeed Kirk Cousins in the next 2 to 3 years. Maybe that could be more along the lines of where Trey Lance, lands.
All right, so Wyatt, the final 17 picks, any big risers and big followers in that last 17 picks of the first round?
Not too many, anything crazy here, but just to kind of highlight some of them here. Najee Harris at 18 to the Dolphins. We've also got at 20, that's the Bears. We all know they need a quarterback. If they're not trading for Darnold, I'm going Mac Jones here. And honestly, even if they do trade for Darnold, I could maybe even see the Bears pulling a move like that. What else would be more Bear fashion than to trade for a quarterback, then draft one right behind it? So next, after that,
offensive line.
So at 21, it's going to be Jalen Mayfield. Anthony Costanza just retired for the Colts. They're missing him. So Jalen Mayfield, great tackle. He'd be a nice fill-in there as well for him. Moving on here to the 23rd pick. That'll be Travis Etienne, running back out of Clemson to the Jets. That's a nice weapon for whoever the quarterback ends up being in New York next year. Moving down here at the 26th pick, Zaven Collins, linebacker out of Tulsa, and I like Zaven Collins a lot, and I'll have him there to the Browns. So that would be nice for them to add him to the opposite
the best
side
in the draft.
He absolutely could be. I don't disagree with you. He has a lot of potential. He went to a lower school at Tulsa, so a lot of people really don't know about him. So he's got really good film as well. The big one here that I went with, and this is kind of the last big one, is going to be at the 28th overall pick. That's the Saints. At this point, Mac Jones is off the board. All your guys are off the board. A lot. Some people may say Trask, but I don't think that Trask is worth it at this pick. I think they take Nick Bolton, Missouri linebacker, right here. So that would be the big one here for them. But now that we moved through all of our picks, highlighted all the rest of them, here we go. So we talked about
on my boy Kyle Trask.
Well, hey, here we go. So Trask, this was the moment I knew that this was not good. Steve Spurrier, Florida legend, all right? Kyle Trask is a Florida quarterback. He says, I give him a good chance in the NFL. Maybe he'd be a backup for a while. If Steve Spurrier says that about you, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, he's got a great ball. He's an accurate passer. But their scouts are seeing something here that we're not. Like I said, I study a ton of mock drafts and base mine off of many other ones as well as my own opinions. But I've seen mock drafts where he's going in the 3rd round. I did not see one mock draft all day today where he went in the 1st round. Yeah.
What does Steve Spurrier do in the NFL?
My question exactly.
He was saying, a backup. He was.
I'm just saying. But Steve Spurrier as a
head coach.
As a head coach in the NFL, didn't really know talent from his elbow. I mean, I get it. At Florida, he's a Florida legend. I get it. But, I mean, I don't know. I've seen a lot of Kyle Trask. I've watched a lot of Kyle Trask. I'm telling you, I think Kyle Trask, in the end, is going to have a better career than your number 1 overall pick.
That's what, I want to agree with you. I like Trask a lot. I wanted him to win Heisman, too. But, I'm looking at all these mock drafts. Nobody has him in the 1st round at all.
Trust your gut, man. Trust your gut. Put him up there.
I want to send him to New Orleans, but
throw a bomb.
Too many people are saying he's going. Like I said, I even saw.
You need to flip him and Etienne. Etienne's not going in the 1st round.
I think Etienne goes. Oh yeah, Etienne goes in the 1st round.
There's not going to be one running back drafted in the 1st round this year.
Najee Harris? You're not taking Najee Harris?
Not
Etienne?
Nope.
Okay. I disagree.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick little break. On the other side of the break, we got the infamous Way or No Way right here on Man Hour. We'll be right back here.
Man Hour Nation, what is going on? It is your favorite time of the week. It is time for Way or No Way, and as Buck would say, the infamous Way or No Way. Boys, are you ready?
And we are always ready, boss.
All right, so did you guys see the fight this weekend? Yeah, Curtis Blades, my boy here from Chicago, was an absolute beast. Got caught trying to take down Lewis.
He got popped.
And when he went to take him down, man, he caught an undercut from hell, and he just went down. And
the problem was
limp. Lewis held him down to the ground, and then as he held him down to the ground, proceeded to throw 3 or 4 haymakers before Herb Dean could run in there to stop the damn fight. I thought he killed the man, but then afterwards, he's, Curtis Blades is down for like 4 or 5 minutes. Like, he is knocked out. Like, it is bad. The announcers keep saying he's still out. He's still out. And meanwhile, Lewis is out there throwing crotch chops, DX crotch chops. He's talking all sorts of junk. So I'll ask you guys this. When you literally hurt an opponent in the octagon, you should have some sort of empathy post-fight.
Okay, so first off, I want to go ahead and address this. The attack inside, I don't know if he was going for the single leg move, whatever it may have been, it was lazy, and Lewis canned him on it. Lewis annihilated him on that hook there that put him literally out. That right there was probably put him out for 2 minutes. Then he comes over and proceeds to hit him 2 or 3 more times in the face, full power, and that probably did it for another 2 or 3 more minutes after that. So, I mean, I get it. You should have a little sympathy, but at the same time, these guys got adrenaline. They're literally fighters. If the people have a problem with this, if you've got such a problem with it, don't watch fighting, because it's literally an aggressive sport. It's in a sport where you literally use your hands to hurt the other person and try and dismember them to the point where they are unconscious. That is the goal of that sport, is to knock that person out. So the people have a problem with it. If you got a problem with it, don't watch fighting. Stop watching fighting. Stop covering fighting for the media people who are like, oh, he went too far. He went too far. And for Lewis, I kind of get it. Lewis, came in with his statement and said, I can't stop. I get in the zone. I got my adrenaline going. He could hop right back up.
Sleeping on that man too in the heavyweight division. He has more knockouts than anybody in UFC history.
Oh, he's crazy.
Nobody in the history of UFC has more knockouts than Lewis. People are sleeping on him.
Lewis is a monster. But yeah, I just, it is what it is. Just if you got a problem with it, then stop watching fighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Buck?
So I've been going back and forth on this, and he was no way in the wrong whatsoever. Everything that Wyatt said, Combs, and everything that you said as well, I mean, it is spot on. It is just like in the middle of a football game. Like, I'm not going to lightly push a guy off to the side and hopefully he runs out of bounds. No, I'm going to lower my shoulder into him and run him out of bounds.
But after he's out of bounds, are you going to hit him 2 or 3 more times?
Well, if he so out of bounds, no. But if he is towing the line and then I am the second guy in there, you are damn straight. I'm coming in there and cleaning his head clean off because he is still thinking that the play is still live. I'm still thinking like the play is live. We have seen a fight where we all thought the guy was knocked clean out, right? Like he is stumbling back into the cage and he's taking shot after shot after shot, stumbling, and then somehow he comes back to and he knocks the guy out. So
it's like Dustin Poirier with Conor McGregor.
Yeah. Like so you have to fight until the referee calls the fight over.
Yeah. And
he
me,
is
that's
no
the
way in the
problem.
wrong whatsoever. No way.
Is that Herb Dean did, as soon as, you could tell that Curtis Blades was out, Herb Dean was like the Green Bay Packers in an NFC title game. You couldn't find him.
God.
Like, he was non-existent, and he allowed Curtis Blades to get hit 3 or 4 more times. So I blame Herb Dean. All right, moving on to the next one here. We just talked about the draft, and we talked about Sam Darnold a little bit in that draft. So I'm going to throw this one at you guys. The New York Jets should keep and build around Sam Darnold.
I have said this for so long. First off, they're not going to. Too many rumors now to the point where I think they legitimately are not going to. I think they've moved on already. But I absolutely think so. I think Sam Darnold is a great quarterback. We saw many plays last year where Sam Darnold would run for his life and then make a great pass. Sam Darnold is not the problem in New York. It was Adam Gase. And they've got the problem out. And now all of a sudden they've got the problem out. They want to get rid of Sam too. And Sam hasn't done anything but just, play his heart out, play very good football. So, I mean, they should keep him, absolutely. But, I don't see them keeping him. I think that New York's got a lot of front office issues that, can't be worked out. I think it's just one of those franchises that's always going to be historically bad. They're going to have upswing years where they're good, Mark Sanchez to the AFC Championship, and then they're gonna fall off the face of the planet again. That's just how they are. There's a reason why they've only got 1 Super Bowl, and it was Super Bowl 3. There is a reason behind that. It's just they can't do anything. They make poor decisions. So they should keep him, but they're not going to.
I'm going to go with Way as well, but we have seen times where, when franchises remove the quarterback, the coach that was, quote, the issue, aka the Philadelphia Eagles, and then they move the quarterback very, very next. Right now, the Jets have googly eyes for Deshaun Watson. They are looking to bring him in no matter what. Like, I don't know why, because Deshaun Watson is not going to make you into a contender. What is going to make you into a contender is drafting an offensive lineman, second overall pick, or trading that pick down and drafting 2 offensive linemen in this draft. And there is no reason why you should move away from Sam Darnold whatsoever. Look what Ryan Tannehill has done since he's been away from Adam Gase. He is arguably a top 15, creeping into the top 10 quarterback now in the NFL since he left the offensive guru of Adam Gase. Give Sam Darnold a shot. No way they should move from him.
I agree. I mean, the Jets should absolutely keep him. I've been saying this since they talked about, Adam Gase leaving. Maybe now they can build around Sam Darnold, and maybe now they can give Sam Darnold a good opportunity. And I don't think that they will, though. I agree with Wyatt. I think that they're moving on from him. I really do think that the Bears are the landing spot for him, which I'm telling you right now is not a much better situation than what he's got there with the Jets. But,
At least you guys get a better quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be excited to see him as a Bears fan, but I don't think that it puts him in a position to really win and succeed as he could. I think he's coming to the same situation he just left with Adam Gase when you come here and you play, for the Bears. So the Jets should keep him and they should build around him. Moving on and keeping up with Chicago, J.J. Watt should come to the Bears and listen to his wife like a good husband. Way or no way?
Come on, Timothy Leonard. Where you at, man? You know what's coming. No way. And why no way? Come on, guys. Get your cups ready. Drink it down. Go, Pack, go. Go Pack Go. J.J. Watt is coming to the Green Bay Packers, where he's from. He's from Wisconsin. He filmed that video in a Wisconsin shirt, in a Wisconsin log cabin, and that video screams, Packers, bring me home. Guys, bring me home. Bring me in. You guys need a good pass rush. I'll sit on the other side as Darius Smith, and I'll sit on the inside of Preston Smith. Come on now. Bring me in, guys. Come on. Come on.
Hoodie? You know
Go
why?
Pack Go.
Because he doesn't even want to play for the Pack.
Yeah, he does.
The correct answer is no way as well. He is not going to Chicago. His wife can tell you everything he wants. J.J. Watt's wife is just like Patrick Mahomes' mom on Twitter. Talks a lot, but nothing ever comes out of their mouth. So, J.J. Watt, don't listen to your wife. She is out of line 100%. Why do you want to go to a losing franchise over and over and over? When's the last time they've won a Super Bowl? When's the last time the Packers have won a Super Bowl?
Watch your tongue, man.
Go to a team that you have a chance to put some hardware on your hand. Go to the Kansas City Chiefs. Go to the Kansas City Chiefs. Play along with Chris Jones, the Honey Badger, and the greatest quarterback of all time. That's right, the GOAT, Patrick Mahomes. Put some hardware on that hand, J.J. Watt. Do not go to Chicago. Come to Kansas City where you belong.
All right, now that you both have pandered for your freaking home teams and you're
ready to do it too. What are you talking about?
J.J. Watt should absolutely not come to Chicago. J.J. Watt should go to the Los Angeles Rams.
Oh, shit.
J.J. Watt makes that defense absolutely, positively insane.
Sure,
that would be ridiculous to have Aaron Donald coming off one end, J.J. Watt coming off the other end. With the linebacking core that they've got, the secondary that they've got, that the Los Angeles Rams would become in question with the 2000 Ravens and the 85 Bears for the best defenses of all time.
You're literally going to have
the Rams.
You're literally going to have 3 Defensive Player of the Year candidates on one defense in Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, and J.J. Watt.
Yep.
I mean, literally.
And it's going to make Roquan Smith so much better. Not Roquan Smith. What's his name that went over there from the Bears? I can't think of his name now. But it's going to make Leonard Floyd. It's going to make Leonard Floyd play a lot better. If Leonard Floyd had 12.5 sacks this year, he's going to have 16 or 17 next year if J.J. Watt goes there. This team is going to be so good if J.J. Watt goes to the Rams.
Do you guys know why that super teams in the NBA don't last for more than like 2 years, maybe 3 years tops? It's because all those Eagles cannot play on the same team. Not everybody can get a sack every play. There is no way J.J. Watt is going to – J.J. Watt is not going to go to a team and sit on the bench unless it's with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's the only way. He's not going to sit on the bench? Why would he sit on the bench
for?
He'll be second. He'll be coming off that bench. I guarantee you.
He would not be coming off the bench. You are out of your damn mind.
He is a stand-up defensive end.
God.
They already have 2 pretty damn good defensive ends there.
Moving on.
No, they're getting rid of Bud Dupree.
No, they're not. He's coming back.
Our final way or no way. I'm giving Wyatt a little bit of play here. We're gonna talk a little bit Green Bay Packers. Everybody get your cups up because we're about to drink a whole lot. Devontae Adams is the best wide receiver in the NFL.
I'm going first on this one, Wyatt. The answer to that question is no way. No way Devontae Adams is the best receiver in the league. There's no way whatsoever.
Damn jersey.
D-Hop is better than Devontae Adams 100%. D-Hop makes his team better. Devontae Adams doesn't make his team better. His quarterback makes Devontae Adams a top 5 receiver, yes. But you put Devontae Adams on any other team that doesn't have a top-tier quarterback, there is no freaking way he's a top 5 receiver. No way, no how whatsoever.
Here we go.
Better bet yourself.
Actually, let's let Combs go first. Let's let Combs. We will give you the final, like the final segment there, Wyatt.
All right. So Devontae Adams is not the best wide receiver in the NFL. Devontae Adams is the best wide receiver on planet freaking Earth.
Oh, shit.
There is not a wide receiver right now better than Devontae Adams. And I hate to say it, as being a Bears fan, I hate to say it, but Devontae Adams is so damn good. And I love DeAndre Hopkins is right there. I think DeAndre Hopkins and Devontae Adams are like a 1A, 1B type thing where they are both number 1. So go ahead, Wyatt. Go ahead.
Best wide receiver on the planet, baby. You are
all right, Man Hour Nation.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeyes along with Brandon Combs and Wyatt Williams. If you haven't already, hit the like button if you're watching this on youtube.com/Man Hour and share this with a couple friends as well. If you watch us on Facebook, do the same. Hit that like button, send us some likes, and share this as well. So let's welcome the boys back to the show. Wyatt, you had a chance to talk and
something happened. I don't know what
Yeah,
happened.
I mean-
We ended up having to go to break. So
Yeah.
She said sombrero.
yeah. And on that note, guys, Wyatt will be off the show for the rest of the night. No, I'm just kidding. So, Wyatt, can you go ahead and bring up that comment from Tori real quick here? It says that. Yep, you're saying that. So Tori Anderson. So
When he says Kyle, though, he's talking about Kyler, just so everybody knows here. See,
yeah. So,
That out.
so I made a post on my Facebook page saying, "Who is your top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL?" And I had Kyler Murray. No, actually, I did not have Kyler Murray in my top 10. I had like 11. I think it was, but. I'm not saying that D-Hop is trash because Kyler Murray. I'm saying that D-Hop makes Kyler Murray better. That's why Kyler Murray is as good as he is. So, do you guys think a receiver can make a quarterback better?
yes,
absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
I think a quarterback makes a receiver better as well. I think. I mean, it's like anybody can make
Jerry
anybody
Rice
better.
made a whole career out of it.
Me being on this show makes Combs better.
yeah. I mean, that's that might be a legitimate statement there. But on the flip side of things, there were times that Drew Brees would actually throw his receivers open. I mean, you would see them double covered, triple covered, and he would throw the ball in a spot only they could get it. And that's
Your
what
boy
made
does it.
That's what Patrick
Mahomes.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes does it all the time.
There are some. So to be a top 5 quarterback in the league, like you have to be able to throw your receivers open, and there's only a handful of guys that can do that right now. And unfortunately, a couple of them are retiring this year. So hopefully some things can change there on the flip side here. But Combs, we do have a new segment that we're going to try to introduce tonight called Would You Rather. So go ahead and explain to people what this segment is all about.
All right, guys. So you guys can basically figure it out. I mean, it's would you rather. I'm going to give these guys a couple of things to choose from on a couple different topics and ask them would they rather. And they're going to say, would they rather this or would they rather that? There's going to be some sports stuff. There's going to be some non-sports stuff. We're going to have a whole lot of fun with this segment. So, boys, are you guys ready?
Let's just be clear, Wyatt. There is no cutting down the middle. It's one side or the other. I don't want you to be politically correct. You have to pick yes or no. There is no like, well, I would do this if I did this, this, and this to do this. No.
If you don't pick, I'm asking Penelope to come on the show because I at least know she'd have the guts to pick.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
All right.
Anna would
Take
love
away,
to come
Combs.
on the show, man.
All right. So the first one, boys, the inaugural Would You Rather. Would you rather be Tom Brady or Michael Jordan?
Tom Brady. Are you kidding me? I'd be the actual GOAT, not a second placer. What do you mean? I would much rather be the GOAT of American sports all time and of football, and not Michael Jordan's not even the GOAT of his sport. What do you mean? Of course I would want to be Tom Brady. The guy wakes up every morning.
A trillionaire.
The guy wakes up and Tom Brady is a almost trillionaire, I bet.
No, his wife is.
Hey, he's a smart guy. Married a rich woman. It's all that matters.
True.
Okay.
Hey, but yes, I would choose Tom.
I'm picking Tom Brady as well because not only Tom Brady is a great quarterback, he was a better baseball player than Michael Jordan was as well. I believe he was drafted out of high school to be a pitcher, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it was a pitcher, I believe.
Was it a pitcher? Yeah. So, but either way, he was drafted to play baseball along with football as well. Tom Brady all day long. Michael Jordan was a baseball flunky. He is the third best basketball player ever. And the only reason why we know Michael Jordan right now is because of his shoes. And his shoes those are some of the ugliest shoes. If you guys buy Jordans, for one, they're overpriced. Two, they're freaking ugly. Like plain black shoes. Who wears plain black shoes? I mean, come on. Tom Brady all day long. There is no competition whatsoever.
You guys have already
come on, man.
Made a mockery of this segment. You guys are both wrong. Even though I'm not answering in this, I will tell you, you guys say Michael Jordan's not the GOAT. Michael Jordan is, and I sent you guys this earlier, the only player in league history to win MVP, scoring title, first team all defense, NBA championship, finals MVP in the same year, and he did it 4 times.
Couldn't win without Scotty.
He's the GOAT.
Couldn't win without Scotty.
Shut up, Wyatt.
Facts are facts.
Winning record.
I think you know what? Between your mock draft and this segment, I think you've been chewing on that foam cheesehead a little bit too much this weekend. Moving on.
Hey, we did put nacho cheese in it, so it's very good possibility there's might be some lead-based paint in there.
All right, so next one here. Would you rather own an NFL team or own an NBA team?
Oh man, I didn't think. The first one was so easy. Gosh, the second one's tough. It depends on the team, honestly. But I'll just say if I could choose my own. If I could choose my own team, then I'll say NFL because I'd own the Packers. That'd be pretty dope to get to draft for the Packers, get to be a part of all the front office decisions.
So you would Jerry Jones it if you owned an NFL team?
Yeah, for sure.
God, your team would be awful. I hope you get to own the Packers someday.
We'd still beat the Bears every year.
Mock draft.
We'd still beat the Bears every year.
Buck.
I'm going to go with the NFL team as well because, I feel like first of all, you cannot be a NFL or a NBA owner anymore, because it is some type of term that I'm not going to say on here to the players and whatnot. But I feel as a NFL owner, you have more ownership of your team, like you have more say in the decisions that you make, yada yada yada. Let's be honest, NBA is a player-ran league. They get to pick and choose where they go. They get to pick and choose how much money they make. with the max contracts and super max contracts and all that crap. NFL ownership, you have more responsibilities, and so therefore, I think it'll be a lot more fun because I operate great underneath pressure. Give me an NFL team all day long.
You both chose that, and that's fine. I would have gone NBA merely because of if I am owning something, I'm in it to make money. And the average yearly revenue of an NFL franchise is about $108 million a year. And the average revenue of an NBA team is $263 million a year. So I'm going to go with the money. I'm going to make more money
team
than
would
you
you
guys. And I'm going to own an NBA team. I would own the Bulls. I mean, I'm a Chicago guy.
You sure you don't own the Bulls now? They suck.
But LaVine is the GOAT because he is averaging more points than Michael Jordan in the 10
Exactly. LaVine is the GOAT Bull.
God.
Yeah, there you go.
The greatest bull guard of all time.
So we talked a little bit
Combs
of UFC
is 100%
earlier.
wrong. NBA team sucks.
We're gonna stick it out with a little bit of UFC here. Would you rather knock someone out
Knock them
or
out.
make them tap out?
Knock them out. I don't even need to hear the second one. Do you understand how cool that would be? To rear back and just
We're gonna find out the first time I come down to Southern Indiana, boy. I'll tell you that much.
Boom! Not gonna. It's what I want to do to Kevin King every day that I think about his stupid face. All right, boom!
We gotta get Kevin King on the show.
I am going to tweet at Kevin King every day, and from now until the end of my life, till he comes on the show.
And clip that and put that on there and tweet him at him with that clip right there.
Right?
And add Wyatt's address into that clip.
Please don't.
Please don't. So I'm going to go with a tap out, simply because like I would love to see like the pain in their eyes, just like, oh, I can't let it go. Like I want to see the soul get sucked out of your body as I twist that arm, twist that ankle.
What is wrong with you?
I want to put you in a headlock and watch your face go white and your eyes pop out. That is what I want to do. I want to TKO you, tap you out, submission all day long, Combs. KO, look, that is the easy way out. One punch, you're doing no. Lock that arm in, crank on it, baby. Make him hurt.
I would have gone with the knockout because I would love to hit somebody with like that spinning back kick knockout or something. Even though I would probably break every bone in my body right now if I tried to spin
Jones would be the one to knock himself out.
But yeah, that's probably what would happen. I would go to knock him out with a spinning back kick. I'd fall on my face and knock myself out. All right, so the last one here. Gonna have a little bit of fun with this one. Would you rather marry
segment?
Would you rather marry Kate Upton or Gisele Bündchen?
Oh man, I actually had this conversation last night. Excuse me. Kate Upton was my childhood crush because I loved Justin Verlander growing up, and I was quite the baseball player. Okay, no, I'm totally just kidding. I sucked at baseball so bad. No, but I loved baseball. I loved Justin Verlander. Kate Upton was like my childhood crush, so I would choose Kate Upton.
Combs, who was the first one again?
Kate Upton or Gisele Bündchen?
That is Tom Brady's wife, isn't it?
Correct.
First of all, I am intimidated by both of those girls whatsoever.
You're taking the easy way out here. Your wife's listening. Don't you take the easy way out. Pick one.
No, anytime a woman like massively makes more money than me, and like I feel like I have to wear like a dress. Like,
what did you tell Wyatt before this segment started, Buck?
Yeah,
I am picking Kate Upton because I have a thing for blondes. Cindy, if you are listening, if you do not go back blonde, I am going to punch you in the throat and make you tap out until you go back blonde. How about that? Kate Upton.
Penelope says, no marriage, hell no, single only. Nana does not want to get married.
No.
All right, guys, that is all we have for now. That was a good one. I like that segment.
It's my new favorite segment. That was awesome.
So we will have more of that to come for sure. Let us know in the comments if you like that segment. Would you rather? We had a couple people playing along. Drew thought you guys were smoking some funny stuff.
No, I want to tap you out, son.
Drew and Penelope both picked NFL teams.
Yeah.
And Penelope picked Tom Brady. She said Nana is ready. Tom Brady. Drew picked Jordan since he owns the team. Penelope said, "Damn, Buck." I think you got a little intense there. Drew said Buck guillotine. So yeah, Penelope said that was fun. Drew said he liked that segment, so it seems like it's a keeper, guys.
Yeah, so we will definitely have to work out a jingle and some overlays for that moving forward. But Combs, let's flash back. You would really own an NBA team over a NFL team or a Major League Baseball team?
Yeah, man. Money talks. I'm not talking about baseball. I would own a baseball team first. They make the most money. But if it was between NBA or NFL team, I would own an NBA team. Yes,
like
for sure.
But you would have like no control because like those players control everything.
You make
man. Like,
1.5 times the money.
I don't know, man.
I feel like if I'm something, I'm running a business. I'm doing it to make money. I'm not doing it for the love of the game, obviously. Because if that was the case, I would get all new players and I would try to change the league.
Me and Cindy have had this conversation before, and if we make anything over like $7 million in a year, that's just too much cash, right? So between
Well,
100
if you
between 108
guys ever
million
make more than
250
$7 million in a year, feel free to send it my way since you have too much.
I'll be here too.
Yeah, like honestly, like what can you do with over $7 million in a year? Like there's not a lot.
I could blow $7 million a year. Absolutely.
I could
No, you
find
cannot.
something to do.
I could
Your
find
lifestyle
something to
changes
do.
when you're making that much money, but
Yeah.
your lifestyle
We will
changes. You
we will
live
talk
large.
about that in the Shop Top segment at the very end of the show. But coming up, guys, we
All
are
right.
going to hit on some sports headlines. And starting from here on out, the last 15 minutes of every show, we're going to open up the phone lines for you to call into the show and talk a little bit of shop talk. So if you can call in, talk about anything that you guys want to talk about, we'll be right back here on the Man Hour. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeyes along with Brandon Combs and Wyatt Williams. Head over to manhourradio.com. If you missed any part of the show whatsoever, you can click on the podcast and listen to the whole show there. Or you can subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Man Hour, and watch the clips as well as you try to upload the clips each and every day. So, Penelope says that, Buck, I'll come over and make your spaghetti for a part of that $7 million. 100%. I would pay somebody to make my food like every day. Like I don't hate cooking. I hate the cleanup process. I hate cleaning up. I hate doing the dishes. I hate doing that. 100%.
That's definitely the worst part.
Yeah. So we have been talking a lot about a lot of USC on the show, and some things that happened over the weekend on USC. I'm going to kick it to Combs, and he is going to explain to us what has happened in the USC, and we're going to banter back and forth a little bit about it.
Yeah, so look, guys, we do a lot of sports on here, and every once in a while we touch on some tough topics. Most of you guys will end up saying, hey, let's get back to sports, and that's fine. But this has to do with UFC. They did run a Black History Month ad, and they are taking some flack for it now. They had a fighter over the weekend on a little ad that they had for Black History Month, and it just so happened that it was a white fighter who had adopted his black son, and he was talking about all the great things and how much he loves being a dad and how much he can't wait to teach his son, what it's like to be a black man growing up in the world and the struggles and have him come up with all the stuff so he knows about his heritage. And for some reason, the UFC is taking a whole lot of flack for this, and I just don't get it. I don't understand what people are saying, what people are seeing, that if you watch that little outtake, you're like, man, this guy's a really good dad. He enjoys being a dad. He wants to teach his son, even though he's obviously not his biological father, he's still the kid's father. Like, he adopted him. He is raising him. He is teaching him the ways of the world. And if you ask me, he's teaching him the right ways. He's teaching him that, you know what, there are people who are different. There is diversity in the world. And there are some things you're going to have to hurdle in order to get where you want to be in life. But, like, to come out and people, I'm reading stuff on Twitter, people saying, oh, you know, the UFC should be ashamed of himself. A white man has no part in talking about Black History Month. What does he know about Black history? Guys, look, I get racism is a horrible thing in this country. And the things that we, you know, that have people have gone through in the past, slavery was an horrendous thing that went on in this country for far too long. But to tell me or anybody else that they shouldn't have an opinion or they shouldn't know about something because of the color of their skin is in fact racist in itself. So I don't get where people are coming from with this. And this isn't just, you know, people who are keyboard warriors. There are actual people on there calling him out for this who are people with names. I saw Gary Sheffield on there saying that they should be ashamed of themselves. I've seen athletes come out there and say the UFC needs to rethink this. Dana White, what were you thinking putting this on TV? I don't understand that. I don't understand the thought of because somebody has a certain skin color that they don't know anything about this or they don't know anything about that. That is not the case. That is not the case. And that in itself is the definition of ignorance. And so that's where I'm at with that. I don't know where you guys are at with that, but it's just, it's an asinine thing. And the way the world is with the cancel culture and all of that stuff, I hate that this guy who was doing the right thing, who was talking to his son about this, who even said in the thing, I want to teach my son everything about his culture. How do you see that as a bad thing? I don't understand.
So let me jump in there before I let Wyatt take the floor. I strongly despise in this cancel culture PC world that we live in 100%. My dad taught me long ago that like you cannot hang on to the wall and walk out the door, meaning you have to let the past go to move forward. Now, I'm not going to get controversy whatsoever. I'm just going to leave that just like that. Live by that moving forward from here on out, guys. You have to let go of the wall to walk out the door. If you do not understand what I'm saying, then you probably aren't the type of person that we need to associate with. But with that being said, I like what the UFC did. I like the fact that, you know, they are showing like first of all, they are showing the Black History thing, right? Like, you know, they are, you know, celebrating the month like the way it should be, and they're also doing the adoption thing. I mean, how many adoption commercials do we see right now? Very, very few, right? But there are millions of kids that would love to have a dad, white, black, purple, Asian, Mexican. It doesn't matter. They would love to have a mom and a dad 100%. Do you guys know how hard it is to adopt a kid? Yeah. Like, do you sit back and like realize how hard it is to adopt a kid right now? Me and Cindy were actually contemplating adopting a kid in our area, and we did not qualify. We have 2 full-time jobs. We own our house. We have 2 cars. We have 2 kids, and we did not qualify to adopt a kid. Yeah. So think about that.
One of the things that you know a lot of people don't know about me, and I won't get too deep into the story, but you know, my mom and dad, we had a tragedy in our family about 2 years ago, and we have 2 of my cousins who are 13 and 15, and they needed a home, and they needed to be taken in because of this tragedy. And it took my mom and my dad over a year to get the adoption stuff taken care of, and that was for family. That was for somebody who was our bloodline. imagine trying to adopt somebody who you're not related to, who
And
you're
it
not
costs like
about how much
$20,000
tougher that is. Like, it's insane. It's absolutely insane how hard it is. And to condemn this man for what he's doing, this is the part of the media and a part of the world right now that I just don't like, is because everything has to fit a narrative. There has to be, you have to pick one side or the other side. Why can't we all just be kind? And why can't we all just, treat every human with the same respect we treat the next person?
Right.
Like, I don't understand the mindset that comes into ever, whether it's white, black, Hispanic, Asian, whatever your ethnicity, whatever your culture, whatever your race, whatever your religion, how hard is it to be kind and respect people for who they are and the things that they believe in? It's not hard.
Good, what?
I don't honestly. I don't want to talk because I don't think anything I'll have to say will be as justice as what Combs just said. What I'll say will double down on what Combs said. It'll be the exact same thing, and I don't want to take away from what he just said. I think it was incredible. I think it was accurate to an unbelievable point, and I couldn't agree more with everything he just said. So I'm gonna have to pass because I don't want to take away from what he just said. I really don't.
All right. So, guys, let's go ahead and move from that. Here on the Man Hour, we try to steer away from those things sometimes or the other, but sometimes we simply just have to talk about it. And that was our little 5 minutes of, like, basically being upset at the world. And, we can do that from time to time. With that being said, speaking about being upset, Jackson State won over the weekend, 53-0. Deion Sanders is the head coach of that football team right now. But the biggest story of the game isn't the win. It is not Deion Sanders' first win as a head coach. Why? What is the biggest story coming out of this game?
Oh God, the big story coming out of it is when Deion takes the podium. They come up to him on media day, and we all know who Deion is. Okay, he's primetime, right? He's got to bring the show. So he comes up on there, and he gets up there, and everybody's expecting him to go all prime on him, and he gets up there, and he starts getting emotional a little bit, and everybody's like, what in the world? And come to find out, during their game that they won, 53-0, somebody went into their locker room and stole all of their phones, wallets, credit cards, cash, everything. Then Deion comes out there, does the press conference, and he's like, I have so many mixed emotions right now because I'm so happy we just won. The guys gave me the game ball right after the game, and it's very emotional and all that stuff. But then I go into the locker room and I can't call my wife. I can't call my kids. I can't call my family. I can't do that because my phone's taken, and I can't, we can't pay for anything because all of our wallets were taken. And, and so he begins to get really upset and really mad. And so then the next day, today, I look up at the screen on ESPN, and ESPN's running something, and it says the items were misplaced and found. So then Deion comes back and is like, no, these were stolen items. They were not misplaced. So he basically comes back after Jackson State in a way. It's very confusing. It is very convoluted. It is in 100 different ways at once. But what else would you expect from Deion Primetime Sanders?
Combs, before I let you take the floor here, the first things first. Okay, several things here. As a football coach myself, we get a key to the locker room before and after each game. We make sure our locker room is locked. The door going in and out is locked. So whoever was in charge of that, the managers, Deion, the head coach, whoever was in charge of that, for one, probably locked the door. Like, let's be flat out honest. So with that being said, it had to have been somebody on the inside of the other team's administration team to either give the key away or whatever, but to have everybody's stuff stolen, they knew they had plenty of time. I mean, come on. You were looking at 100+ kids' cell phones and wallets and keys and credit cards taken, and then to, magically appear. Come on, man. Like, what was really going on there? Like, I mean, like, if you want to do something like that, don't take everybody's stuff, whether it is a prank or not. Take a couple people's things, let it slide underneath the radar. I'm not telling you how to steal stuff, but I'm telling you don't get greedy either, right? That is how all the criminals get caught.
Buck life
they get
lessons.
greedy.
Buck life lessons. Step 1: how to be a criminal.
Facts are facts. Don't get greedy. Just like Combs and the NBA team. Don't get greedy, Combs. Take the $100 million and be happy. Don't go back for more, because you're going to get caught.
I don't have to.
You are going to get your hand in the cookie jar.
All I have to do is own an NBA team and I make more. That's just facts, buddy. But no, look. Whether the items were stolen or misplaced, it remains to be seen. Jackson State, one of the most notorious HBCU schools out there. It's a bad look for Deion Sanders, because either way he loses in this situation.
Yep.
Because you came out and you said one thing, and then you came out and retracted and said another thing. Oh, it wasn't stolen. I in fact misplaced like that.
He didn't say that. The school administration did.
Well, so the school says it, and then, but I mean, he's going to have to. I mean, what do you do? Like those are your bosses. Do you agree with your bosses? Or do you keep pushing back and say, no?
He didn't agree with his bosses. He went right back after him.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's one of those things. It's Deion Sanders, though, man. Look, Deion Sanders is going to have a voice. I don't know if you guys know who Deion Sanders is over there in Jackson State, but Deion Sanders isn't going to shut up. And he's never done it his entire life, so it's not going to happen now. So you might as well just let the truth come out and let us know what really happened.
Probably what happened was there was a trainer or manager on Jackson State. They're like, you know what? Deion Sanders is my coach. He can afford a new phone. He can afford this, and this. So why not just me take it?
Well,
Got caught.
It kind of goes back to the whole, Patriots thing. The deflate gate and that type of stuff. You're going to have somebody who's going to end up taking the fall either way. So
right.
Whatever. I mean, we'll see.
It's a ball boy.
So, it is somebody that had a key to the locker room and knew they had an hour to go through their stuff. So,
right.
Come on. Inside job, 100%. So, speaking of not giving up and, stealing stuff, Michael Pittman Jr. has come out and said that he is not giving up his number 11 to Carson Wentz. No amount of money will get the number off of his back. Why you had some strong words for that earlier in the show, so I'm going to let you have a chance to kind of state your claim, and I'm going to poke holes in it there, and there. Go for it.
And then
so first off, I like Michael Pittman, all right, but you don't welcome a new quarterback and your new teammate who took enough flack in Philly like that. You don't just go right off the bat saying, oh, he's not having my number. He's not having my number. We talked about it pre-show. What's the first thing that LeBron James did to Anthony Davis whenever Anthony came to the Lakers? He said, hey, if you want 23, here it is. I'll go play in my 6 jersey again. It's my kid's birthday. I love that number. It's done me. It's done me well. So we'll switch if you want. That's what he did. That's what a mature leader
because
does.
LeBron knows that if Anthony Davis goes out, he can't carry the team without Anthony Davis, so he's going to make concessions for Anthony Davis.
But Michael Pittman couldn't carry the team without Wentz.
Okay. So let me ask you this, Wyatt. You are a freshman in high school. You are starting over a Division I athlete. And there is a senior that has your number. What was your number in high school? Number 70?
70,
it was
sir.
whatever the water boy wears.
Right.
That was the
So
number, yeah.
so there's a senior that has been wearing number 70 for 2 years now. Mr. Wyatt Williams, Division I athlete himself, coming in his freshman year, says, I want number 70. And there is no I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to do this, this, and this. And then that senior says there is no amount of money whatsoever that
Wyatt
you
gets
can
shoved
get this
in the
number
locker
70
and we don't see him
off
for a
of
week and a half.
my jersey. What is the difference between that and Michael Pittman Jr. wearing number 11 going on his second year now for somebody that's coming in freshman when he is a junior now, right? What's the difference there, Wyatt?
The difference is a veteran quarterback and not
Oh.
some high school kid.
Okay.
That's what the difference is. The veteran NFL quarterback who's coming in and is going to lead your team. He's the one who throws you the
Just
ball.
threw 14 interceptions.
How
the
about
year
this?
Before.
Okay, high school, yes, I get it, whatever. Seniority rules, okay? Let's say you are a senior in college. You are at the Ohio State. You are wearing number 7. You are a linebacker. You've been wearing number 7 for 5 years at Ohio State. There's a JUCO transfer that comes in that plays strong safety. He's been wearing number 7 since seventh grade, and he says, "I want number 7." You guys are both seniors. I've been there for 5 years, but you are a JUCO transfer in. Yes, you might be a 5-star athlete, and like I might be a 3-star, but you know what? I'm not giving you my number either. What's the difference then?
It's still an NFL player. It's totally different.
Is it?
Yes, it is. This is transfers. Okay, Carson Wentz A has been in the league longer. Okay, B, Carson Wentz has more of an impact on the team. He's the quarterback. He is literally going to throw Pittman the ball.
Backup.
Pittman cannot do anything without Carson Wentz. No wide receiver in the
Backup
NFL.
quarterback.
Face it, no matter how good your wide receiver is, they are nobody without their quarterback that gets them the ball.
Back
You-
up.
So
you know
why
who
would
else
you
is
want
a-
to tick off?
Why would he
Go
be
ahead.
ticking him off? Do you know who else is a nobody without their wide receiver? A quarterback. How many drops did Carson Wentz have last year?
Well, I could tell you he had 14 passes that went the other way.
Right. So if he had a
were
receiver
off
like
the
Michael,
receiver's hands.
without if Woods had a receiver like Michael Pittman Jr. wearing number 11,
Yeah.
12 of those would have been touchdowns.
And what's the big deal? Carson Wentz, you should want to change your number 11. You don't want to associate with anything that you had to do in Philadelphia. Wipe all that juju off of you and go wear a different number. Wear number 12. Take over Andrew Luck's number. Do what you got to do. Who cares about your number? Because if you don't play better, why don't you take the number 14 so maybe you have that as a constant reminder of how many interceptions you
How
don't
about
want to throw
this?
this coming year.
How about this? Carson Wentz comes in and says, "I want number 7 from Jacoby Brissett." Should Jacoby
Yes.
Brissett give up that
Yes.
no number?
Yes.
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 Why?
100%.
He's a backup.
He's a backup quarterback.
He's
But so is Carson
Here,
Wentz.
that Carson Wentz will
He's
say,
just
"Hey,
gonna
here,
be able to
hold,
start."
hold my jock strap and my clipboard while I go out here and ball. Watch this."
So
That's
you
not-
are
that's
saying
considered.
Ball.
So you are saying that the quarterback, not only are they the prettiest and best looking and get all the good looking ladies and get paid the most money, they should have any number they want regardless of who has that number,
Buck,
right?
let me ask you a question.
Right.
If they had just signed or traded for Tom Brady and he wore number 12, should he have to give up his number to Tom Brady?
Talking about Patrick Mahomes.
No. I'm talking
Wentz?
about I'm talking about same thing. Michael Pittman. If Michael Pittman wore number 12 and the Colts just traded for Tom Brady instead of Carson Wentz, would you have the same take on it?
I don't think
because
I
I
don't
would
think
have a
any-
different take on it.
Why?
Because I think that when you have a guy like Carson Wentz coming in, Carson Wentz is not a guy who commands respect throughout the league. Tom Brady is.
He's a top 10
and
quarterback. How does he not
Carson,
command
shut
respect?
up. He is not he's a top 10 backup quarterback.
So
He's-
here is my take on that. Okay, so first things first, you are new to my team for a reason. Either you got traded or you got cut or you're looking for some more.
Well, what if you got signed as
more
a
money,
free
right?
agent?
Well, yeah, that's not so. That's not, so. But I have been here longer. I don't care how long you have been in the league. I've worn number 11. You know, like the last 3 years. I mean, yes, I know Michael Pittman Jr. was a rookie last year, so his second year. But whatever. I digress. So, like, what is the big deal? Like,
All right.
like about
Yeah,
that?
no, I
when
get it.
yeah.
I get it. Let me ask you this then, Wyatt. Aaron Donald, what number does he wear?
99.
Okay, J.J. Watt, if he goes to the Rams, who should wear number 99?
Aaron Donald.
Why?
Well,
J.J.
because
Watt's
it's-
been in the league for 10 years.
Well, but it's totally different. Like Aaron
Why is that
Donald's a
different?
legend as well. Aaron Donald's a
But
legend.
Aaron
Michael
Donald's
Pittman's
not
not a
legend.
legend yet.
He's been in the league for 3 years. He's not a legend.
He is
J.J.
absolutely a
Watt
legend.
is a legend.
Aaron Donald right now is a Hall of Famer already.
So is
You
J.J.
cannot
Watt.
tell me he's
So
not.
is J.J. Watt.
So is
But
J.J.
JJ Watt is. But
But
this
that's
is
what I'm
also
saying. But it's
This
still a
is Aaron
veteran
Donald's-
coming into a team where a guy who
It's-
hasn't been in the league is like, it's not.
No,
But-
it is totally different. It would be different
not
if Michael Pittman had got many Offensive Player of the Year awards like Aaron Donald's got many Defensive Player of the Year awards. Like, it's so different. It's not even funny. It's like
You
Pittman
know what the
hasn't done
difference
anything
is?
yet.
Both of those guys are great, and Carson Wentz sucks. Moving
How
on.
about this? What if Julian Edelman came to the Colts? They both wear number 11. Who gets number
then
11?
Pittman
then?
should take it. Pittman keeps it.
Why?
So
Julian
basically,
because-
Edelman's a veteran. He's won Super Bowls.
he has like 4 Super Bowl rings, doesn't he?
Yeah, what's he done without Tom Brady? What was he before Tom Brady? What was he
What has
after
Michael
Tom
Pittman
Brady?
done in the league, period?
Yeah.
Well, he's a rook. He hasn't had
All
any,
right.
he hasn't had
so
a quarterback.
What are you talking about? That it's the same argument that you have for Carson Wentz.
No, it's not. Pittman is already
Carson
better
Wentz is,
now.
what has Carson Wentz done in the league that he deserves to have the number taken away from Pittman that Julian Edelman hasn't?
He was an MVP candidate. He would have led his team to a Super Bowl if he could have stayed healthy. He was 11-2 one season.
I
didn't say if.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did. You
Several
said
times.
you
You said
said
one
if he
if.
would have
I
stayed
said if.
healthy.
Okay,
he would've-
okay.
Yeah, no,
Sorry.
He is not Julian. I'm telling you, Julian Edelman. I would have more.
Julian
of a case for
Edelman
Julian
was a
Edelman to get
quarterback
number
before
11 than
Tom
Carson
Brady.
Wentz.
Julian Edelman
Michael
was
Pittman,
nothing.
You get number 11. Michael Pittman, you deserve it. Michael Pittman, don't give that shit up to Carson Wentz because you know what he's going to do? He's going to try to throw you the ball, but he's going to throw it to the other team.
So what is a good quarterback
cannot
number
wait.
besides 11?
12. All the greatest quarterbacks were 12. Think about
Really? Okay.
Bradshaw.
it. AR-12, TB-12. Come on now.
I don't know, but whatever. We'll talk about that later. But guys,
Two
we're
best
going to
quarterbacks of all time.
we are going to take our last break here. The phone lines are going to be open, so if you guys would be interested in calling into the show to talk about anything that you want, you can call 812-406-8384, and we'll get you on air live. Keep it clean. I don't have to cut you off. Come on, man. Do what you got to do. But we are going to do Shot Talk the last 15 minutes of the show. And, of course, we got some 5 games to pick them as well. So, of all that and much more, guys, right here on the Man Hour right after the break. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckhouse along with Brandon Combs and Wyatt Williams. Head over to manhourradio.com. Check out the blog section and pick up some merchandise as well. The phone lines are open right now, 812-406-8384. If you want to discuss anything, feel free to call in or obviously comment as as well here on youtube.com/Man Hour, and we will pipe you guys in as we can. Combs, I was jumping on the old mothership site here during the break just to see if anything's happening and whatnot. And some news came across the screen here. The Seattle Mariners president and CEO Kevin Mathers has resigned after his comments at a Rotary Club. Have you heard about this?
I heard of it. I don't know what was said. But I did hear that there was some news there. He was catching some flack for something, but I do not know what was said, no.
Yeah, obviously the article didn't say what he said either because, that would be flack to them in the end, right? But I kind of feel like this is a I'm sorry I got caught type of situation, much like that country singer, he got caught on a ring cam or something like that. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
I Morgan Wallen.
That was stupid too.
Morgan Wallen,
at the same time that LeBron James was saying the same thing to fans on the court, but
right.
This might be something different. I don't know what it is, so I don't want to say that it's along the same lines. It just depends on what was said. Somebody out there might know. Tori might know. Drew might know what was said. If you guys know what was said, Penelope, if you know what was said, or Football Kid Murray, or Tim, if you're listening to and you know what was said, let us know.
The quote says the video was highly disturbing. I kind of feel like we could put the pieces together like at that point there, but that anytime
it's just stupid. Like, why do you put and so we have an interview coming up with Bob Picozzi tomorrow, and I got to speak to Bob for a while after our interview today. And one of the things that we talked about was like the Artemi Panarin thing, and we both agreed, and we both talked about like why, as an athlete or as somebody who is a part of an organization, do you put yourself in these situations when you know that the mic is always on? Even when the mic is off, the mic is on, especially in today's social media world.
Right. Everybody's got a camera.
Why put yourself in that situation? If you are in the position that you are in, why put yourself in that situation? Do not put yourself in a situation where you can't stand behind your comments. I tell you right now, everything that we talk about, even when we get into like the stuff that we got into earlier, yes, I speak my mind, but I'm sure that anything that I say, I can stand by, and I can stand behind, and I can fight to the death, knowing that what I said was the right thing. Why say something or do something that you might have to apologize for later when you are in that position? I don't understand it.
And one of the biggest things that always upset me about these situations just like this is back in 1997, this guy said this, this, and this. Well, why are you saying something now? Oh, just because I'm starting to make something myself, and you want your five minutes of fame. That always irritates me to the max. I cannot stand that. And it's the same
thing with Artemi Panarin. Did you guys hear about this thing? So Artemi Panarin, a hockey player for the New York Rangers, used to play for Chicago Blackhawks. Something came out that there has been a story that broke that in 2011 he got in an altercation at a bar with an 18-year-old female. Well, they put it that way, and you're like, wow, a grown man fighting an 18-year-old girl at a bar, that's not good.
Right.
At that time, Artemi Panarin was 19. He was in a bar, and we don't know what happened. We don't know to the extent of what happened. We don't know what was said. We don't know if he was provoked, if she came after him. But now, all of a sudden, 10 years later, we're going to come after this kid. After he's, because he's Russian and he's from Russia and he goes back to Russia and he's always posting about how much he loves Russia. But he posted some stuff where he's against Putin. He doesn't like Putin. And now all of a sudden the story's breaking. It's just things that there's the thing like this guy here in Seattle where you put yourself in a situation, and then there's Artemi Panarin where you're a young 19-year-old kid, and 10 years later something comes out. Like, you at some point, if you feel like you want to be an athlete, if you feel like you want to be anybody that is in a position of power, whether it's an athlete, whether it's an owner, whether it's a GM, whether it's a CEO of a company that's not even involved in sports,
Right.
there are certain things that you can't do. Don't post on social media. Don't post anything that can be looked at, because everything can get spun around into somebody's narrative, and you can get in trouble for it.
How about this?
You've really got to mind your P's and Q's if you are going to be somebody whose name is well known.
How about this? Josh Allen, a couple years ago in the in the draft, they brought up a tweet or a Facebook post
When he
that
was like 14.
Yeah, when he did it in like 7th grade. So
Yeah.
I mean, it is absolutely crazy that
Nuts.
people fall back to let's be honest. We were all, Combs, the only reason why you and me are like not in jail right now, let's be honest, is because there was not cameras back then. There was not Twitter. There was not Facebook. There's not social media.
And you're in a culture now where they are looking for a reason to fight. Trevor Bauer, Trevor Bauer's been in a thing on his own, like a Twitter war with the whole Mets pitching staff. For some reason, they didn't like the fact that he went to the Dodgers, and they are coming at him hard. And it is amazing. Like, this Trevor Bauer thing is absolutely amazing. But
Well,
then
of course
he posts,
they just lost a top 3 pitcher to come to their staff.
Stop it. But then he posts something where it says exactly what I said earlier, which was, why can't we just be kind and treat every human as they are? And he got blasted for that too. Say, oh, you just said all lives matter, but in different wordage. Like, that's not what I said at all. That's not.
Right.
That's not what this is. But that's how you're taking it. That's your interpretation of it. So why does your interpretation have anything to do with the words that I'm saying? But that is where we live. That is the culture we are living in. That is the society we are living in, and that is just something we have to kind of accept. And if you are going to be an athlete, if you are want to be a pro, you better start erasing stuff now, man.
Honestly, I just started a new job, and they traced my Twitter and Facebook back 12 years, I think it was, or something like that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, even like even getting a job was just like, wow, really? Like, I mean, but it is what it is.
Why?
But
You're the one who's still in high school. Have you encountered any of that stuff in high school?
What do you mean, like?
Like any of the narrative stuff? Like, have you encountered anybody? I mean, you're calling games for the high school. Have you encountered anybody trying to say, negative things about something that you posted?
Oh, no, not.
Man Hour Nation, rise up!
Combs, we're not ending the show yet. We have to do our game picks, man.
Oh, you're killing me.
You are so bad at life sometimes.
I just wanted to mess
man.
with Buck Wyatt.
We literally do the rundown before the show. You knew it was coming. I played the music and everything. I said we got to make our game picks. Starting here out, guys, we're doing
I just
game
like
picks.
muting Wyatt.
All right, so first game pick here. Just give me the quick score or the quick winner, and we'll keep a running tally. NCAA boys basketball: Illinois versus Michigan State. Combs, who do you got?
I'm gonna take Illinois.
Wyatt.
Same here, Illinois. Michigan State's been struggling here recently.
And they're going to bounce back. Give me Michigan State. On Super Tuesday as well, we have number 717 Kansas at number 14 Texas. Combs, who do you got?
I'm gonna take number 14 Texas. I like Texas. I like the way that they're playing. Give me Texas.
I'm going Kansas here. Kansas fell out of the rankings. They were able to get themselves back. Now they're on a little bit of a hot run right now, so I'll take Kansas.
As much as I want to say that, I hate saying KU's name. I hate it. It feels nasty coming out of my mouth. But I am picking KU in this one over Texas. They have never
Sometimes
lost.
You can't be biased, Buck.
Yeah, they have never lost a Big 12 championship. That's just the way it is. Moving on to the hockey, we have the Chicago taking on Columbus. Combs, who do you got?
I'm taking my Hawks, man.
Wyatt?
Taking my Hawks.
Blackhawks.
Taking Blackhawks too. I'm taking the home team. Give me the Columbus. I don't know. I don't like Chicago Blackhawks. I don't like them. Nashville
Jackets guy now?
Predators traveling to Detroit to take on the Red Wings. Colm, who do you got?
The Nashville Predators. I will never pick the Red Wings to win ever in my life.
Smashville, baby. Preds.
Yeah, I'm taking the Predators as well. And as a tiebreaker, NBA 76ers take on the Raptors. Colm, who do you got?
Raptors.
I'm taking the Raptors as well. Wyatt?
Give me the 6.
Nobody cares, Wyatt. Who you pick on that one? Colm says
And
sad
that's
is
how
out.
you do it. Man Hour Nation. Rise up.
Choo choo.